What is going on here? Just riding my tractor. Alright, let's go park. Let's see if this thing will give me a ticket. Sometimes I'm too low, too small, but it won't register this little bike. Otherwise, I'll just have to go around the gate. Let's try it. Hey, it recognizes me. I'm a real motorcycle. Woo! Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Random Happenings in Chase's World. It is really cold this morning. We are out, it's about 9 o'clock in Ohio. I'd say it's maybe 50 degrees. I say really cold, but a lot of people are probably hearing that going, that's not cold at all, but if it's not 60, I don't want to ride. I just figured I gotta get a vlog in, tell you guys all about the new stuff that's going on out on the e-Grom. The pink one, love this bike, so much fun. And I just did a re-gearing on this. It is now at a 4.5 gear ratio. I upped it about 30%. It was at like 3.6. The get up and go from 0 to say 50 is about 30% faster, essentially. Love it. And why are we vlogging today? So the big thing I wanted to talk about is we officially got the Ruckus lower mount done. So if you guys have been following along on the Ruckus kits, we had some issue with the lower mount essentially breaking during testing. We redesigned that lower mount so that it was one piece. There's no fail points through the welds. That's what failed in the past. It cracked right on the weld by not having a weld at all. We should be remedied with that situation. So really excited about that. Now we got to install it on the bike and just test it and make sure we're all good there before I actually start reselling them. I think all in all should be fantastic. I'm so excited about that. Currently working on a 12-inch Ruckus setup right now. And also, we got the hub motor in for the next Grom build. That thing is heavy. I'd say it's probably 40-45 pounds. And it's such a fascinating idea that you have this motor inside your wheel. You don't have a chain, there's no drivetrain loss or anything like that. So for on-road, I think it's a no-brainer. I personally have always shied away from hubs because I like the traditional style of a chain-driven. You hear the feedback. It's just, I don't know, it's that classic look, but we're going to go with the hub style just because I have built a good amount of mid-drives now with the chain, and I want to do something different. And that one will put out a lot more power, so the whole premise of that build is how much is enough? I mean, I know right now this peaks about 30 kilowatts, and that's right about the borderline where I'm comfortable with it. I mean, I still want to push the boundaries a little bit just to see, but for the vast majority of people, I'd say 20 kilowatts is honestly plenty on these. But for science, you gotta test the limits for science. The TRX is coming along too, if you guys haven't been following that. The four-wheeler swap, old Honda 90. I'm currently sending parts out for powder coating, so waiting on those to come back, and then the battery is also in transit. It's just a matter of a waiting game. It's always a waiting game with the batteries, anywhere from 4 to, 20 weeks. They come by barge. A mortgage is great though, do not get me wrong. They ship by barge to save us money, so I can't complain there. Generally speaking, they build their batteries within 3-4 days, if that, and they get them out the door. So I'm very happy with all the products that they've provided for us. But again, doing an mortgage battery on that, it's a 60 amp hour, so plenty for off-roading. I'm still up in the air if I want to do a regen on that. That quad has cable brake, so drum brake, not hydraulic, which normally is how you would work regen, at least on my setups. It works through the brake switch, not on deceleration, which is what I prefer because it drives me bonkers when you let off the throttle on some electric bikes, how it instantly slows you down just because the regen is based off of decel, and I do not like that at all. I want to be able to coast freely. So yeah, backtracking to this bike, this thing's really fun now. I mean, not that it wasn't fun before, but to be able to just whoop really quickly at that 4.5 ratio is really nice. I appreciate everyone being ever so patient on the Ruckus kits. I know that's been constant emails, YouTube comments, everything. I appreciate all the enthusiasm, but there is no rush to safety. That's the biggest thing, because I'm not going to be putting out something that's going to be failing for people. It's a liability to me. It's a liability to you. I don't want to kill somebody. And likewise, I figure you don't want to die. So I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. So once we get these out and start testing them and stuff, we'll be good. It's just a matter of the timeline on that. I would say another couple weeks at least, get a couple 100 miles on them. We really do not have that much longer to ride in Ohio. Again, if you're like me, fair weather rider, you only have so long. So now That's why I'm stockpiling all these builds and things to do over winter. Currently have 3 in progress that we can kind of chip away at whenever we please. In my little 1-car garage, working on building a little shop, little work shed, so to speak. A little, probably 500-600 square foot, and a couple lifts, nice little sound system, you know, little man cave, make a biz out of it. I'm excited. We'll see what happens. Also wanted to chat a little bit. I really appreciate the wholesomeness that the internet provides. I know, generally speaking, a lot of people are like, the internet sucks and there's a lot of bad people out there. And while I agree with that, I posted a short a couple days ago about when we were down in Tennessee and the cops were hassling us about the headlight. The amount of people that kind of popped out of the woodwork that were just talking to me about my veins, it made me really happy. Just like the first comment I read, it was like, hey, that's gonna kill you. You should get that checked out. Because I have a lot of vascular issues, always have. I used to get made fun of a lot for it. It's just my life, it is what it is. I've had surgeries and got it fixed somewhat, and at the end of the day, when I was, 14, 15, I was told that I had the veins of an 80-year-old, which obviously isn't great to hear when you're heavy in sports and running marathons and all that stuff. So that was a fun reality that I got to face. The amount of people that came out of the woodwork just to say, hey, check that out, it's not good. It made me really happy, and I wanted to just say thank you to the community and all of my viewers. That's the kind of stuff that I love about the bike scene. A lot of people within cars are toxic, and don't get me wrong, some bikers are too. You get the elitist guys and whatever, but just the idea that somebody's like, hey, looking out for you, even though you're just potentially a stranger on the internet, maybe they've never seen my content at all. It made me really happy, and I wanted to send a sincere thank you because that's the kind of stuff that the internet always wins, and I love it. Currently en route to the hospital. My daughter's been in the ICU for the past 2 weeks. That's been fun, living at the hospital as I always do. Part of the reality of life. I mentioned that you kind of play the cards that you're dealt, and there's only so much that you can do within reasons. I'm always thankful for one more day, especially with our daughters. That's the life we live, and that it's very medically fragile. So thankful to be able to do it. So that's why I wanted to pop on here, kind of talk to you all with the limited time that I've had the past week or two, given all of what's going on. Video content might slow down a little bit considering, man, fall weather is here though. The leaves are changing. I am so excited for this. It's something about fall riding. Again, I don't like the cold, but the leaves and the scenery, so good. And I'm hoping in the next few weeks I can get my battery in on the TRX because the rest of it's pretty much done. And I'd love to go tear around through the woods. It's always so fun to ride back to places that you grew up or places that maybe you haven't been in the last 9-10 years and to see everything that's changed. I've not taken this road for probably easily a decade. You get the same buildings and things that maybe were there, not quite in the disrepair that you see them now, but then you also see buildings that pop up out of nowhere, businesses that pop up out of nowhere, and things that the ever-growing landscape of sprawling community. I love to see it. It's just cool to see the progress. Then you also get the nostalgia of like, oh man, this used to be all farmland, or this used to be an old diner that they now have a warehouse, or I don't know. It makes you relive a little bit of your childhood or upbringing, I should say. Oh God, it's so bumpy. The suspension sucks too. Oh, the Ruckus suspension cannot not recommend it enough. It's great if you want to be low, but it ends there. The performance, not so hot. It's not the best. I also decided on the Ruckus build that we're going to do next. I'm going to do a Volvo Matrix Blue. Look that up. It's a beautiful color. I was torn between that and the new Type R blue that they do on the Civics. Both beautiful. But the problem I had was matching the Type R blue to a powder coat because I wanted to powder the frame and then paint the battery box. So I was left going with Volvo because I found a matte color that I can use. And then it got me excited because I've never done a matte color build on an entire bike frame. I think that'll be interesting. So I'm super excited just to have the matte color style rather than the shiny. You always see Rucks that are very high vibrancy, super shiny, glossy paints. So I'm excited to do something a little bit different there. I also am not going to continue the blue throughout the frame. I decided that I'm going to break it up. So the battery box is going to be blue, rear frame is going to be blue, but the frame neck up front in the middle is going to be black, and then I'll do a blue battery cover. So it'll connect it, but it won't be a continuous blue, so it'll be spotted in between with black. I'm excited about it, a little different. You know, you see so many of these builds that are all the same colors and the same styles, and let's be different a little bit. That is going to be the 12-inch electric kit. I still am up in the air on if I'm going to offer that to the masses, mainly because there's kind of a lot to make the 12-inch work in the rear. There's a lot of spacing issues that I've been running into, and it's miserable, and the problem is that I can figure it out, and I know some people can, but I think the vast majority of people, it would be a headache, and thus turning a headache for me because I'm trying to figure that out remotely for people, and it's a whole thing. So like this, coasting down a hill, I would absolutely hate on electric if I let off the throttle and then it just doesn't want to coast like this. I love that I can just let off the throttle and it'll go and it's fine. That would drive me bonkers to have to accelerate down a hill. So much fun. Yeah, so I'll be posting individual videos for each of those builds as we go along the process, but I just wanted to give you guys a rough update for where we're at on the Ruckus, the other builds, all that stuff. It's just fun. I love being able to do it. I love being able to share it with people, and it's cool to see the enthusiasm around the project's build because there's so many people that are like, when's this coming out, or when's this done, or what's the progress here? And oh man, so rewarding. I never thought in a million years that I'd be able to put something out for people past just my friends from the locality that are like, yeah, let's build a go-kart or let's do this. So it's just cool to share that with the world and know other people are going to get a lot of enjoyment out of it. All right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Have the best day ever. Goodbye. Also, pro tip, if you guys are riding very small bikes or even bikes in general, a lot of parking decks have those cameras that allow for these not to get stolen. So highly would recommend, if you ever park in parking decks, to park next to or near a camera. It is in your best interest, I promise. People are dicey, people are shady. Don't allow people the option. Have the best day ever.